1.7.C on solving scenarios using present and future value calculations. You can use the formulas that you see in your textbook. Let's see here, formulas. These formulas that you find in your textbook, I personally don't like to use those because Excel does a much better job of calculating compound interest values. It says find the maturity value. Maturity value is the same as future value. And so if you go to Excel and write future value, and then if you click on the FX insert function, it'll ask you what the rate is. Well, it's 0.056. The number of periods is 3 years. The payment, there isn't one, but the present value is $984. And if you see, you get $1,158.74, which is what we got. Now, if you want it to be positive, really this should have been negative, but don't worry about the sign. Our answers are always going to be positive for these problems. Number 2, Ginger deposits $829 in a savings account and leaves it there for 4 years to accumulate interest at 3.6% compounded semi-annually. Find the maturity value. Maturity value is the same as future value, so I hit the FX key. The rate is 0.036, but it's compounded semi-annually, so we have to divide the interest rate by 2. If you had 3.6% each time you compounded, that would actually be 7.2% for the year. So we have to divide it by 2. It says for 4 years, well, it is 4 years, but there are 2 semi-annuals in 4 years, so a total of 8 periods. No payment is made during the time, but we deposited $829 to begin with, and when we did, we got $956.17. Next one. Calculate the maturity value, so future value, 0.062, oops, I should get the 0.062, she compounds it quarterly, so divided by 4. Number of periods, there's 6 years, but there's 4 quarters in each of those years, so it's actually 24. No payment, and she has $294 in there at the beginning, so it's $425.27. Next one. Trish deposits. It even tells us this time that that's the present value and leaves it there for 6 years, accumulating interest compounded annually. Calculate the future value. So it's future value, and when we do, the rate is 0.046. The number of periods is 6 years. No payment, present value of $1,390, and you get $1,820.56. Mark invests. Calculate the future value, so future value. The rate is 0.067 compounded annually. 22 years, no payment, but he starts out with 10,610, and he gets $44,190.88 by the end of the time. Number 6. Leaves it there for 4 years, compounded semi-annually. So we want to know the future value of 0.064 semi-annually. So we're going to have to divide the interest rate by 2. 4 years, but there's 2 quarters in each year, or 2 semi-annuals in each year. No payment, and she starts out with $21.30. And so she's going to have $27.45 42 at the end. Next one. Use your calculator. 2190, so we want the future value because it says what will her value be. Notice it says will be her future value. So 0.048, it's compounded semi-annually, so we're going to divide by 2. 6 months, well, there's 6 months in 6 months semi-annually, which is one payment, right? One period. 0 and present value is 2910. There's 6 months in each semi-annually, so 6 divided by 6 is 1. 29, 79, 84. Number 8. Oops, wrong thing. Number 8, calculate the interest. So we're going to take the 1310 minus the future value of 0.065, compounded quarterly, so divided by 4. Number of periods is 21, but there's 3 months in each quarter, so that's 7 quarters. No payment, $1,310. Now we have to go negative this time, and the reason for that is we need our answer here to be positive, because if you remember, we took 1,300 and we're going to, I did this backwards, I should take our future value. What am I doing wrong? I should take our future value and subtract the 1,310. So minus 1,310. The other thing I could have done is I could have pressed interest equals interest. No, that's an integer. I guess I don't have interest. So I guess that is all I could do is get that answer. 156.48. Okay, and the last one, what is the amount of finance charges on the loan? All right, let's see if we can figure this one out. Her loan requires a 15% down payment, equal monthly payments. What is the amount of finance charges? This is kind of one that we did before. What we need to do is we take $131,000 times 0.85. Since she gave 15% down, that's how much she's going to invest. That's how much money she's going to pay, or borrow, excuse me. She pays $2183.91 for 60 months. If we subtract how much her loan was, we should get the finance charges. Now you are going to need your calculator. $2,183.91 times 60. Subtract 131,000 times 0.85 gives us $19,684.60. This is 1.7 point C.